This is the campaign pitch for Gurps, Delta Green, I Want to Believe. Gurps, Delta Green, I Want to Believe centers around the Shadow War. The Shadow War. Well, you know, the real conflict comes when people who are supposed to get along don't. That's an unknown Delta Green agent. The Shadow War is the war between factions in the Delta Green universe. At the top of the Delta Green universe pecking order is, of course, Delta Green. The Majestic 12. They sort of fight for control over jurisdiction and step on each other's toes when it comes to investigating initial reports about elder gods. They also have the most resources. Majestic 12 is sort of represents political interests, NASA, stuff like that. And Delta Green is sort of like a branch of the military, kind of. So that's kind of where the conflict lay. Consequently, there's going to be KGB agents, FBI agents. They're going to sort of fight over control over the actual evidence and the scene of the event after the fact, and sort of report about these mysterious actors who they don't know are Delta Green or Majestic 12. That's actually going over their head, that fact. There's going to be civilian organizations whose motivations can be up in the air. Things like the Prometheus Trust, which would be a subsidiary of General Electric, Bell Labs Special Research Division, Infinity Corporation out of New York City, the news, media, stuff like that. They're going to be drawn to these Soviet FBI agents. It's sort of a never-ending cycle of conflict in that case. So, as for current factions, right now, I've written a few down. We have Delta Green, Prometheus, which is, like I said, sort of a division of General Electric, Bell Labs Special Research Division. So both of these are corporate factions. So I guess they'd be chasing profit. They'd be the most unpredictable. There's going to be KGB, FBI agents, and the thing about these guys is that they don't know a lot, but they also have the most to lose in most cases. So they don't actually know a lot about the supernatural, but they do know a lot about conspiracy between people. We have things like the Vatican Church's silver daggers. They're going to be sort of hunting monsters, sending like individual agents to go to areas and hunt monsters. The Abstergo Corporation from Assassin's Creed, that could be a faction in here. Basically, any conspiracy group that you can think of could fit in this Shadow War, I Want to Believe setting. So, if we could move on to the Delta Green subfactions. Boston, it's regional subfactions. So, out of Boston, we don't know who the leader is currently, but one of the handlers is a man named HP, who turns out to be sort of the disembodied floating head of H.P. Lovecraft, in a sort of sort of same thing Disney wanted to do. The current situation is that Delta Green. So this is all from the perspective of Delta Green. Each of these sub-faction guides are from the perspective of the faction. So the current situation for Delta Green is actually that they lost control of their only outpost to Majestic 12, Cultist and Fishmen. But on the plus side, all of the I guess the skinhead Nazi conspiracy that was happening in Boston was actually snuffed out relatively easily by some Delta Green agents. So what this is situation volatility and situation control, and this is just the simplest thing I've come up with to get these regions to. So this is situation volatility, situation control, and this is just the easiest way I've come up with to represent control in various territories in kind of like an XCOM sort of gang warfare sort of way. So volatility is you're going to roll a 6-sided die, and volatility can go from 0 to 6, and any in a set time frame I haven't really decided yet. You'll roll volatility, and if it's under, then you'll reduce the control in the territory by 1, unless the PCs can do something heroic to stop it. So, for example, in Appalachia, which we haven't gotten to yet, the volatility is actually 1 and the control is 5, meaning that if you rolled 1, you would lose a control point, basically. It's so in Appalachia, there's the chief, and the current situation is sort of that there's kind of crazy Baptists, crazy Methodists, crazy whoever. There's sort of muddling, usually quiet and controlled area for Delta Green. They usually have Appalachia under wraps. There's Texas. The leader is actually a ghost in Texas. It's the ghost of Sam Bass. The handler is Alan Lomax, who actually revived Sam Bass. Or revived his ghosts. The current situation in Texas is actually that the Rangers are barely holding back the ghost of dead cowboys. So that's why the volatility is at 2, the situation control's at 5. I haven't fleshed this out yet, but I guess there'd be a Miami chapter. Why not? There'd probably be one in LA. There's going to be one in New Orleans. There's going to be a small kind of espionage chapter in Albany and in New York to keep a watch on those factions. But Delta Green, as of right now, does not have any interest in New York. The Dreamlands, of course. They're building. They're trying to start a stronghold in the Dreamlands. That's being spearheaded by the chief. So, like I said, this is just a rough draft of Gurps, Delta Green. I want to believe. It's a setting. Look out for my other setting reports.